All right, well, welcome to our February Music Game Club Teachers Zoom chat. I am Rebecca Trevelise, and I am based out of Austin, Texas. I own Austin Arts Academy, and our students love testing out our games and playing them every month. And I'm very competitive. I love playing games and designing games with Amanda. It's super fun. So I have a question. If you could master any skill instantly, unrelated to music, what would it be? So when I first read this question, I immediately thought of art, being able to see something and visually just recreate it. So that for me would be my first response would be, yeah, I could just recreate any piece of art. That would be amazing. What about
So
you?
we'd love to hear your answers. So put it in the chat or comment below. I'm Amanda. I'm the project manager at Music Game Club. I also write all the emails and the blog posts. You probably are familiar with my name. I teach mostly virtually. I live in Tennessee, but I more recently moved, so all my students are virtual for the time being. That is a hard question. Like I came up with it, and I'm like, oh, I have to answer it now. But honestly, I would say probably learning marketing, like being a marketing pro, and just like it's hard for me. I don't like marketing, and I have to do marketing with music stuff, so it is kind of related to music. But also, I'm a writer, and so like I just feel like the creative side is the fun side, is the easy side. It's the getting out in front of people that's a little bit tricky. So yeah, today's meeting is all about boom cards and using boom cards for music lessons. So here at Music Game Club, we have recently gotten into creating boom cards to go along with all of our monthly games. You can see some of the posters here. And we usually have like 4 sets of boom cards per concept, if not up to 8. So today we will talk about using boom cards in private lessons, using boom cards for online lessons, in group lessons, and then we'll also cover answer to most common questions. And if you're live here, if you have any questions, you could drop your questions in the chat and we'll try to add those. So for me, I'm going to start off actually with basic pedagogical uses of boom cards. So I got introduced to boom cards about 3 years ago, and it was a really good time for me to be introduced to them. I was in the middle of a really stressful college year, and my health was also really bad. And so I kind of felt like I was this subpar teacher, and like I wanted to help my students. And of course, I was communicating with my parents. They knew where I was, and they were still like, yeah, no, we still want you to teach our kids, which was, amazing. But I'm like, I feel like I'm just kind of I'm not able to stay on top of everything, not able to provide like there's so much about music you want to teach. So I was introduced to boom cards, for music boom cards, and I found those to be an absolute lifesaver because it was a really fun and easy way to teach theory. And then you could work it 2 ways. You could either find specific boom card topics. There are probably thousands of them out there for music teachers now. So you could either just search for a topic you want to teach, or I just bought a couple of like sets or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is what my students are learning this week. And then whenever they mastered that, then I went to the next one. So it was a really hands-on, easy way to do boom cards. So that's when I fell in love with teaching with boom cards. And one of my favorite things to do is to teach new concepts with boom cards. I've got a very hyperactive 6-year-old I'm teaching right now, and she is very hands-on and she loves creative things and colorful things. And so she has been loving our Music Game Club boom cards. And I've used it to teach her concepts. Like she knows quarter note, half note, dotted half note, all of this. And we were not sitting at the piano for any of it, which is my old style of teaching. I'd be like, okay, we're going to sit at the piano and learn everything. Well, that's too boring for her. So I threw in some boom cards and introduced new concepts that way. And she's just been running with it. But you can also use boom cards to review old concepts. And this is what I did for some of my students back 3 years ago. And I remember one of the main ones was key signatures. I had some more intermediate students, and I knew that they kind of knew their key signatures, but it was just like, how do I review all of the key signatures? Well, I found a boom cards deck that had all the key signatures, and we kind of did it as a teaching review type of thing. Like we did it in person in lessons, and there came one, and I'm like, okay, this is a sharp. How do you find the sharps? And you go to the last sharp, and then you go up one note, and that tells you what key it is. So we kind of worked that through, and it was a teaching / review just to kind of assess where they were. And so I love using boom cards to teach and also to review old concepts. And then I especially love boom cards because they're very easy for at-home assignments, and they're way more fun than worksheets. So you can easily, and I will show you later in the frequently asked questions portion of this, how to assign them to your students for easy at-home review. So those are just some of the ways that I use it pedagogically, and later Rebecca will talk about using it in group lessons, but I will talk specifically about using it for private lessons. So for one-on-one lessons, there's a few ways you can use it. One really good idea, and you can actually schedule this into your teaching plan, is to use it for lesson overlap time. I know I went to a teacher once, and I basically had, was it 45 minutes of lesson time and 15 minutes of computer time? And this would be the perfect thing to do for that, because it's helping your students, and you are kind of in the room, so if they get completely stuck, they could ask you. But you can also use it, if you're wrapping up this student and a new student comes in, they're like, okay, here's computer time or tablet time, because boom cards could be used on any device, even a phone, as long as it has internet. So you can use it for overlap time, but it also is just really easy to grab. So as I'm teaching my one private student that I have right now, if it gets to something, it's like, oh, she needs a little bit of extra review with this concept. Either I'll grab a Music Game Club game, or it's really easy for me to grab a boom card set and be like, oh, here is the perfect boom card set. And if you play it through the student version, which we'll show you how to do later, it's just 25 cards, and it's randomized, and it's really easy. So when it's a private student one-on-one, I will play it with them. Like I will pull up my tablet and we'll kind of play it together. This makes it really easy for me to walk them through if they need more of a review approach, or I can just kind of observe like, okay, where are they with this? If they whiz through it, then I'm like, all right, let's get them something harder to do because they've got this concept mastered. So I love using boom cards basically for theory time in private lessons. They are also really easy to use for online lessons because you can screen share. And if you know how to do it, I'm actually not that savvy with Zoom, but if you know how to do it where you can let the other person control the screen, then they can actually do it. But how I've done it, I've just shared my screen and we'll talk through. I'm like, hey, what's the answer? So like if it's note cards, like note names, I'll ask them, what's that note name? And they'll, even if they tell me a wrong answer, I'll tap the wrong answer and they'll see that they got it wrong. So it's very, very versatile, very easy to pull up for online lessons as well as private lessons. So I only teach private. I have not gotten into group yet, but Rebecca does some groups. So I'm going to let her take over and talk about how she uses them in group lessons.
Yeah, so let me share my screen here. I want to show just some boom cards in action in our classes here. So here is a video. Several videos I want to share just so y'all can see different age groups. Are you able to see this? Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Here we go. That's better. All right, here we go. Here's just a quick 12-second video of Rachel, one of my teachers, teaching a class. And this is for ages 6 and 7. So there were 2 boys present in this class for this day.
I know. Yeah. Oh, okay. So how many beats does a whole rep get, Kiandi? 4. 4. That is so awesome. You
Okay. The easiest way. Let's see. Let me play another little video clip in this same class.
All right, Kiandi, this one's for you. How many beats? 1. 1. You got it.
So you can see there, very similar to what Amanda just said online, the student is giving the answer and the teacher has the iPad and she's choosing the answer that they have given her. Whether it's correct or incorrect, you know, that's how we all learn. Sometimes those wrong answers can be very helpful to the student to recognize. Here's another picture of another class that she was teaching. This game in particular, this is a harder level of boom cards because the student has to pick the rest or the note to finish out the measure. So they have to have the knowledge of what's already in the measure and then look at their options to choose from, know exactly how many beats those get, and then make the correct choice. So this is definitely a harder level to do. So that was interesting for the kids too. I think I have a quick video clip of this, completing the measure. Something to play. Okay, I may have to come back to that one. For some reason, it's not playing right now. Okay, let's try this one. All right, this is a class. Only one girl was in this class for this day. Here's a quick little clip of her trying to figure this out.
It's sort of like a quarter note. I don't know. Well, think about a quarter note. Let's see, we have lots of quarter notes in our songs that we play. How many beats do you think it gets? 1 beat.
So I liked what Rachel was doing there. The teacher was really coaxing her the answer out of her because the student just was like, I don't know. She was kind of frozen for a little bit, which is okay. That's typical of someone who's a student who's learning something for the first time or is really insecure about their knowledge. So it's okay to kind of coax and encourage the correct answer, even if you end up just kind of giving it to them. That's just one way for her to have that knowledge implanted. And then the next time that card comes around, hopefully she'll be a little more confident in her answer choice. Here is another video. Now this is a class of 3 students, and this is one of our piano pyramid classes. So this is ages 8 and above. And this is the first time that these students were introduced to the 3 different types of minor scales. So they are learning this for the very first time. Some of them have actually, 1 or 2 of them have actually played minor scales before in their curriculum that they're using. This boy in particular on the left of the screen, he has only had, I think, 2 classes. So this is brand new information to him. So let me play this video here.
Yep, harmonic minor scale. Which one is it? Which one's raised?
Okay, so I want to point out really quick, he just asked which one is raised. So before we started the game, I did a brief overview of what natural minor looks like, what harmonic minor looks like, and what melodic minor looks like. And I used that verbiage of the 7th tone is raised when it's a harmonic scale. So I'm very proud of him for kind of capturing that language and reusing it as his own to ask the correct question to get the correct answer. Well, I apologize. My video doesn't seem to be playing. One quick thing that I will point out, don't forget to, even when you're using your boom cards in person lessons or in group in-person lessons, don't forget to pull out the success posters. So a lot of times just completing a card deck is a celebration, right? That's new knowledge or a review of knowledge that they've already done. So we always have these ready for students who have completed even just a single boom card deck on their own. So we get to celebrate them. It's also great to use in lesson notes for parents because the parents will know, oh, they were on a device maybe for 5 minutes, but it was a very impactful way to use the time in the lesson to either learn a new concept or review an old concept. I will show you real quick. This is one of our 4-year-olds learning using the boom card deck. So you can see the card that's pulled up is an 8th rest. He does not have any 8th rests in his music yet, but that is okay. We are going through the decks. We are giving him the answer. We're giving him the name of the rest and how the value of the rest, and he's memorizing it. He's learning it. So don't be afraid to do harder concepts or introduce maybe music theory concepts that are not in the student's music yet. We have found that it's a great way to kind of plant those seeds of knowledge ahead of time, and it just makes learning so much faster when the concept does appear in their music. Here is another boy that has, he played, so this is one of my private in-person students. We played the board game the week before I took this video. So for the very first time, he learned about minor scales. He is not playing any scales yet. He's only had a handful of lessons. But I know he's mature enough, he's old enough to understand, 3 different things and to memorize what that pattern looks like. So we played the board game the week prior to this. And then the moment he walked in the door, I immediately started review. I said, okay, remember the game Mythical Minors we played last week? What were the 3 types of minor scales? I just wanted to see if he remembered anything, okay? Well, he actually did. He had a hard time remembering how to pronounce melodic, and you might catch a couple of times in the video I reinforce how to say melodic because he wanted to say like melodic or something like that. But so we quickly reviewed natural minor, no change. It's sticking with the key signature, and then harmonic minor, you have that 7th tone that's raised, and then melodic minor, the 6th and the 7th are raised going up, and it's natural minor going down. And you can hear, I think in this video, he's repeating that. So he remembered how I said it, and now he's repeating it, confirming that he has the correct answer. So here's my last little video here, showcasing this. And by the way, this game, Mythical Minors, is February's game. So y'all are getting some sneak peeks here of this in action.
It looks like it's.
Oops.
Because I keep thinking that the natural.
Yeah, they changed places, so you have to read the scales.
No.
Oh.
Oh. Melodic.
Melodic.
All right, so there are some boom cards in action, and you can see how quickly. So that was only the 2nd lesson of understanding what the 3 types of minor scales, and he was getting them quick. Like those boom cards, he was flying through them. So we probably spent maybe just a few minutes reviewing at the very beginning of his lesson, and then we were off playing music. So yeah, I love using boom cards in group settings as well as private lesson settings and online. Like it's good for all of the above.
I also love how you introduced the concept with the printable game, and then you reinforced it with, that's like a really good, because there's usually 4 boom cards. So then the first week, if you're a teacher who it's a little bit of a hassle for you to set up a printable game, you could just have, it's the week of, let's say it's February, Mythical Minors. And so you have the printable game just set up and all the students go through and play it. And then after that, you don't have to have the game out. You can just pull out the boom cards. So really, I like that, how you teach and then reinforce with the boom cards. It's a really good idea. So I'm going to finish up with common questions about boom cards. So I'm going to walk you through, actually, I'm going to share my screen and walk you through how to assign cards. Now we have another YouTube video that will teach you. All right, let me get my screen. We have another YouTube video that will teach you how to set up a Boom Learning account. So when it comes to assigning them, you can either assign, I think I might be getting ahead of myself, but if you want to use them as a student, you can assign basically yourself all the decks. And then if you're in lessons, then you can just sign into your student account, if you will. And then it has them automatically shuffled and all that. Getting into that more later. So you have a classroom, and right here, we just have the test classroom. And so if you see here on the left, right above here, it says new students. So if you click that, I'm going to create one for me. And I'm just going to do a test password. You have to have, I think, one uppercase and one special character. So you do that, and then they give you that username. So my username is Amanda-263.4RF. And then you can click the button and you can click assign, and it's very, very easy. You can go to your decks and you could just put the check mark for which ones you want to assign them. So I'm going to assign me all of our mythical minors. So those are our 8 newest February 2024 decks. And you just check it like that, and they're assigned to me. So then I'm going to take it from the student side, and let me see if I can copy that username. All right. The username is the one tricky thing, because if you miss a hyphen, it will be like, this doesn't work. So, all right, I'm going to type it out somewhere else. So Amanda-263.4RF. All right, so then I'm going to sign out, if I can figure out where to sign out. Try getting out of here and getting back in. Okay, so I'm going to sign out as a teacher. Then this is the general, and it's this way. If you just go to wow.boomlearning.com on a browser, you'll see this. So I'm going to go to the student sign in, and I'll sign in with Boom. My username is that really long hyphenated. And then I have, hopefully I got this right. Then sign in. All right, here's what I see from the student side. I only see the 8 decks I was assigned. So this is really important, because if you use the deck from your teacher side, if you just click on them, like if you click the title, it will automatically play in preview mode, which means it will give you every single card that we have in the deck, which can be up to 100 cards, and they're not shuffled. And so if you're wanting really good review, then you want to go through the student dashboard, because assigned decks shuffle. So if your cards are not shuffling, it's probably because you're just accessing them in preview mode. And so, so let me show you. This is Mythical Minors 1. There's only 15 cards in this one, and you're going to tap the harmonic minor scale. So you just tap the correct answer, and I'll just go through this entire deck because it's only 15. Tap yellow for natural minor, red for harmonic minor, and purple for melodic minor. So if you see, this deck has 2 different ways to review what type of scale it is. And then this is the last card. So if you notice, it was a short play. They get a score, and it shuffled them. So it did both of them. If you played this in teacher mode, in the preview mode, you actually probably would not get to the little colored scales, because those are later in the deck, in the creation of the deck. So if your decks are too long or your decks won't shuffle, this is the solution. So I will walk really quickly through the other mythical minors decks. So I love these. This is how I like to teach the minor scales based off of the major scale. So deck 2 is just natural minor, and you create it by dragging scale tokens to the correct piano keys. And so you're gonna lower the 3rd and the 6th and the 7th, if I'm correct. Yes. All right, so this is deck 2. Deck 3.
And see how you can also see your progress. So that's also nice. Rachel, one of my teachers, I've assigned her a whole deck, and so we can see like her class progress, which is
that's a good point. Yeah. This deck 3 is the same thing, just with harmonic minor. So you only lower the 3rd and the 6th. And all these decks cover all 12 minor keys. So yeah, there's the progress bars that she was talking about. And then 4, it's a little bit more complicated because it's the melodic minor. So ascending is on the keyboard. So you're going to lower your 3rd. And then descending, you're going to drag these, and you have to lower your 6th and your 7th and your 3rd. So this is a way that we could review both ascending and descending. That's what's included. We've got 2 decks, two bundles. So that's bundle 1 is all those 4 decks. Bundle 2 is decks 5 through 8. And this reviews your whole step, half step patterns. Whenever I first learned scales, this is how I first learned them. I like doing them better based off the major scales now, but this is how I first learned them. And so you would just drag, there's 1 or 2 missing. Again, this is just for the natural minor scales. And then deck 6 is the same thing, but with harmonic minor scales. And then deck 7 is your melodic, and we have it both ascending and descending since it changes. And again, it's either missing 1 or 2 of the steps. And then the last one is on the staff. So this is the one that you saw Rebecca's student playing. It's what scale is this? And it's harmonic, natural, and melodic. However, the little answers swap places. So you really have to pay attention. So this is harmonic minor. And then this is melodic minor. And this is a really easy way to see what has changed. So that's a preview of just some of how boom cards work. And it's really easy. It's tap the correct answer. It's immediately given to you. So students aren't like, did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Like a worksheet. If they did their worksheet, they would not know until they came back to lessons if they got it right or wrong. And for this, they know immediately. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. There's one more question, and that is if you have to pay for Boom Learning, or if the students have to pay, or how it works. So as a teacher, you have free access for up to 5 students. So I personally use a free account because I have a very small studio and not all my students use Boom cards. But if you have more students, the essential program is only $25 a year. So that is like very, very cheap. And it only goes, it also goes up to 150 students. So whatever you're dividing, if you have 70 students or something like that, divided by 25 a year, it's like crazy cheap. But we will also drop a link in the comment or description below that you can save 10% with our referral code. We do earn a referral prize when you use it, but that will also help you save 10% on it. So that's kind of our walkthrough with Boom cards. But if you have any questions further about Boom cards, we'd love to help you out. We're still kind of learning them ourselves. And so there's new things that I'm learning about it every day, the more I kind of get into it and learn different aspects of it. So if you were interested in learning more about Boom Learning, or you're interested in any of our decks, check out our website, musicgameclub.com, and we'll have information on there. You can get all of our Boom cards at Boom Learning. You can search author and you can search Music Game Club there, or you can go to our shop, musicgameclub.com/shop, and we also have all of our Boom cards there for you to work on.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for our monthly chat, and we look forward to seeing you next. Bye.